They say the quietest streets harbor the loudest secrets. You move in, you unpack your coffee mugs. You picture Sunday mornings lounging on your porch until one knock changes everything. Trust me, I know it was 8 a.m. on a Saturday, and while I pictured myself still bleary-eyed, coffee mug in hand, unpacking boxes and plotting out my new home office, a knock shattered the calm. I swung open the door expecting warm hellos. Instead, two uniformed police officers stood on my porch cruisers idling, lights pulsing red and blue, and behind them, the self-appointed gatekeeper of our HOA, Linda Marshall, glared at me like I'd stolen the Declaration of Independence. There he is, she barked. That's the guy I told you about, the unauthorized homeowner. Before I could even stutter a greeting, they demanded ID. Linda stalked forward, clipboard raised, like a sword of righteousness. I know every resident here, she snapped, and you're far too young to own a home in Crestview Heights. Now prove it or get out. If you think that's chaotic, stick around, because what followed was 6 weeks of notes, threats, forged notices, drive-by intimidations, and one very satisfying lesson in serving a power-hungry HOA tyrant her own. Eviction notice. Settling in it all began with a dream. At 27, I managed the unthinkable. I bought my first home and paid cash for it. After years living with my parents, working freelance gigs, scrimping and saving until every dollar counted, I pounced when a quaint two-bedroom in Crestview Heights hit the market. Sure, it had shag carpet and dark wood paneling, think 1970s. Time capsule, but the price was right, and the seller, a sweet retired couple, was eager to move cross-country. Within 48 hours, I had keys, a clean deed, and visions of that coffee drinking, newspaper reading suburban life. Day one, I hauled boxes into the living room while neighbors peeked curiously. I waved and smiled rose from the ashes of student debt and 9-to-5 freelancing. It felt like triumph. Then, late that afternoon, an unfamiliar presence hovered across the street. A woman stood perfectly still on her front lawn, wearing black athleisure, ponytail tight enough to snap a twig, clipboard in hand. Her gaze tracked every box I carried. When I caught her eye, she offered nothing but a stiff nod, as if to say, "I'm watching you." I chalked it up to neighborhood curiosity. I had no idea I'd just met Linda Marshall, self-declared queen of Crestview Heights, architect of petty roles, and, as I'd soon learned, an inveterate bully with a knack for wielding HOA authority. Like a medieval mace. The first official notice. Night 1, a crisp envelope arrived on my door. Printed letterhead from the Crestview Heights HOA. I tore it open until I read, to homeowner, 123 Elm Street, Ray. Violation of HOA Covenant 12. Your mailbox is not regulation size. Please replace it within 7 days to avoid $50 daily fines. I blinked. My mailbox? Regulation size? I knew the community guidelines word for word. I'd studied them to ensure my property fell just outside HOA jurisdiction. My lot wasn't. In the home map, it's at a street over. Despite that, I trimmed my hedges, adjusted the mailbox height by half an inch, then moved on. I assumed the notice was a harmless mix-up. Over the next 48 hours, similar notes appeared, each more absurd than the last. Hedge height noncompliance. I pruned them that very morning. Porch light exceeds permitted illumination. It was a single 40 west bulb. Vehicle parking regulation violation in my own driveway. The underlying message was clear. Linda was sending a warning, and I was under her microscope. Drive-by patrols and digital harassment if the notes didn't convince me. Her silent surveillance did. Each morning at precisely 7:15, I'd see a silver sedan creep by. She'd lower her window, phone pointed at my house like a detective gathering evidence. Then she'd post on the neighborhood Facebook group under Crestview Watch, "Keep your eyes peeled. Suspicious activity at 123 Elm. Young man hauling boxes at 6 a.m. Let's protect our community." Her posts drew fervent comments. "Thanks, Linda. We need more eyes." I saw the same bin yesterday at 5:30. I tried to shrug it off. I planted a small garden, refurbished hardwood floors, and chatted politely with neighbors, everyone but Linda, who remained a phantom judge. But her online vigilance fueled real-world intimidation. Neighbors gave me cold nods. Kids paused their skateboards. The package incident 2 weeks in. I treated myself to custom coffee mugs, my initials in gold leaf, shipped direct from a hipster. Workshop. Text pinged. Package delivered. I opened the front door, grabbed the box from the welcome mat. Before I could step back inside, a voice sliced the air. "Stop right there." I spun. There was Linda, phone out, filming me like a live crime scene. I've got you now. She crowed. I knew someone new was behind these Porch pirates. I blinked, still holding the box. Excuse me. These are mine. I live here. Likely story, she sneered. The Pattersons live here. They've been here for years. You're not them. Actually, I said, hard hammering, I'm Michael Chen. I bought this house. I turned the box so the label showed my name, yet her finger remained pointed. I'm calling the cops. Her voice carried curbside, waking the entire block. Yes, I caught the thief in the act. Within minutes, neighbors spilled onto porches, some with phones out, some cheering. A cruiser rolled up, lights flashing. This time, my heart sank. Confrontation and vindication. The officers stepped out. Linda rushed to meet them. Officers, thank goodness you're here. Packages keep vanishing. He's the one stealing them. She shoved her phone at the taller officer. Blurry footage of a dark figure grabbing a box. The shorter officer wore that. I've seen it all. Look, they approached me gently. Sir, can we see some ID? I handed over my driver's license. Michael Chen, I said calmly. 123 Elm Street. Moved in last week. The officer checked the license. Address matches, he said to his partner. Do you have proof you ordered that package? I do, I replied, pulling out my phone. I showed them the confirmation email, timestamp 30 minutes ago, and the doorbell. Camera clip of the USPS driver dropping the box. Crisp footage showed my name on the label. Linda's jaw dropped. She stammered, that proves nothing. He could have faked it. The taller officer folded his arms. Ma'am, your report describes a man in dark clothing. That covers half the population. He turned to me. Sir, you're free to go. Linda sputtered, face betrayed. But I'm the HOA president. The officer's voice turned low. That doesn't give you authority to falsely report crimes or harass neighbors. If you continue, you could face charges. Linda spun and stormed off. Her door slammed so hard the wreath bounced. I exhaled, heart still racing, as neighbors drifted forward, some shaking my hand, others offering muffins. The once aloof block felt welcoming again. The fake eviction notice days later. Another envelope appeared, this one thicker, official looking, stamped. With the county seal, notice of eviction. It proclaimed in bold, to Michael Chen, 123 Elm Street, pursuant to County Code 148.3. You have 30 days to vacate your property due to noncompliance with occupancy regulations. My blood ran cold. I read the small print. Claim I was in a rental agreement expired 6 months ago. Listed my occupation as unverified occupant. Signed by a deputy clerk marshal. I called the county clerk. Deputy clerk marshal. No such record exists. The clerk told me that signature is a forgery. We've never filed an eviction against you. Fraud. Harassment. All orchestrated by Linda, who decided I was unworthy of my own home. I filed a police report, handed over the forged documents, and began gathering evidence. Security footage of Linda slipping the notice under my door. Copies of genuine HOA boundary maps proving my property lay outside their jurisdiction. Witness statements from neighbors who had seen Linda lurking. Asterisk.